Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you'll never leave in my face. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no, you're a mind reader. I know you do. Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you'll never leave in my veins. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no, you're a mind reader. I know you do.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Back with another video. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. It's been a minute. It's good traces of life. I just had to refresh it, so let me know if y'all can hear me. Whoever's out there. It's good? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so y'all can hear me? It's been a minute. You can still hear me? Just want to make sure I'm still good. I got some time. I'll figure out do a live stream. Just give me another thumbs up if you can still hear me nice and clear. Somebody, anybody. I know it's a little delayed, but I just want to make sure y'all can hear me, because I don't see the little microphone, the little microphone thing moving. It's moving, but it's moving low, like it's hard to hear. So if somebody could shoot me a thumbs up and you can hear me nice and clear, that'd be great. Let me see. Maybe I could use my other device to check real quick. I don't want to take up too much time trying to figure out the damn audio. I don't see comments coming in, but it's close to well, I can hear pretty good. Looks like I can hear it pretty good. Alright, looks like the comments are stuck. Probably stuck. But what's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm doing a live stream. I guess it's more of like, I guess it's just in me, like something I was just born with. And, it's like I quit, but I didn't quit, but I actually quit. I guess what I quit was following the get along game, I guess that's what I can say is I just quit following the get along game. And I kind of really don't pay attention to much of it anymore, but when it comes up, I do still pay attention to it, and I still do the same stuff, I still do the same stuff. And what's good, Cuts? Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me good. Is this better here? Let me know. I kind of had it stuck to the side window, so. And you're good. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So I guess I just kind of, just quit all that stuff, but it'll always be me to look through the bull crap, Thank you, Angela, thank you. Shout out to you. I don't know, But yeah, it's just still the same old stuff going on. Same old. And then I see my brother still inspires me a lot. I see Fake Mike doing videos again. They inspire me a lot. When I get a chance to go on the tube, I see my brother Wise still on there, so he always gives me that spark. And of course, missing all, you guys at the same time. So I didn't quit. I guess I just quit the, the truther get along gang realm, But it's been a long time since I talked about anything to do with whatever is going on. But man, is it going down? We already know it really, really is almost pointless to keep talking about it. But I guess I wanted more talk about our neighbors, our fellow human beings that are around us. It's actually quite disturbing, It's quite disturbing. So yeah, no, I don't give a shit. I can care less about them people, man. It's just what they are. It is what it is. I don't even care. That's why, man, I'm not involved with that no more. So it's all good. But I just want to talk about our neighbors, man. Like, what's good, Flint? It's literally how they have brainwashed. I mean, pretty much every damn body. you know. And now we're like 9 months into, you know, Donald Trump. Um, and I mean, it's just nonstop bombardment every single day. Every single day, we got we got something going on involving Mr. Donald. You know, happy summer ain't over yet. Hell yeah, I'm enjoying that. You know, but it was one post also, just to jump right in. Trump is keeping RFK Jr. in his tent and on a leash. Like, this is coming from a big news station, Politico. And it says President Donald Trump believes his alliance with Robert Kennedy Jr. created a political tent too big for the Democrats to beat. Trump is now trying to make sure Kennedy doesn't push traditional GOP allies out. That's the biggest takeaways from the release of Tuesday of Kennedy's much anticipated Make Our Children Healthy Again strategy report, which goes relatively easy on the V scene. Pesticides and food manufacturing, whom Kennedy. What the incredible. Get off my phone. This big blurb right in the middle of the damn thing. Anyways, this comes right after, you know, Donald Trump sat down with the henchmen, you know, and had dinner with 33 people. They made sure they said 33 people, which is wild in itself. I see the moon out. It's been crazy. But anyways, he sits down for a second time with Donald Trump and Facebook and Google and all these, everybody, right? Sits down. And these people that support him still have answers, still have excuses. And it's literally the same people that are all against the you know what. I mean, it's just unbelievable, you know? I mean, they already convinced the people, the liberals and the Democrats about the vacations, right? They already did that, because when I was going out all across the country documenting the protests, they legit had, when I went to the Denver protests, they legit had a giant movie projector on one of the buildings that they took over, and it was all boarded up and spray painted up. A giant projector all about vacations and the damage of vacations directly on the capital of one of them. Yeah, it was a main Capitol building in Denver. And I've seen it at another protest in Florida, that these people, the liberals, these, all back then were all against it. Now, forget it. They got all them people looking at, the Trump supporters who don't go along with the vacations, all up in arms, because they just did something in Florida, where Florida eased whatever, like the for schools. They eased the vacations for schools, and it's got everybody in an uproar, and all the Democrats are now screaming, and all like, oh, get your kids out of there and move out of that state before they die, and all this other crazy shit. So all this stuff goes hand in hand. You literally had that, and then you had Mr. Donnie sit down with Mr. Bill himself. Okay? And it's just, hey, whatever kind of sorcery they're doing is working, because no matter what, these Trump supporters, they don't care. They don't even see that. That's nothing to them. And why am I talking about it? Well, not because of news stories, because, guys, these people surround us every day. I told you guys a long time ago, all right? Check your own house first, your bed, and everything in between. Then check your neighborhood, because now you see what they're doing. I mean, they're literally drawing out exactly what they need to draw out. All right, it's working like a charm, man. It really is. Thanks, man. Oh, he did it for Truth Fighters, did a video. Oh, I got to check that out. Shout out to my other brother who gives me motivation. I didn't forget about it, but I forgot about it. But yeah. So these people surround us. I'll be everywhere, upside down and out, and what I see daily blows my mind. What I see in my own community blows my mind. Conservatives, you know, Trump supporters, liberals are out of the question. They're already, it is what it is, right? Not conservatives and Trump supporters don't realize that they're actually liberals. Half the truthers are liberals, don't even realize it. I mean, when it comes to freedom and liberty and actually fighting for it and standing on it, there's nobody around, really. Very few people, very few people standing on business, right? Very few people implementing that inside of their life, you know. I mean, it's actually quite more than you think. I just say it, around here, but there's actually a lot of people that, are actually standing up and fighting. I broke the numbers down to somebody online, like a few weeks ago. So, and it's in the millions of people that really know what time it is and are really doing stuff, not just talking about it. They're actually, in their own life standing up against it, And I mean, wherever they go, that freedom and liberty goes with them. And that's what I try to do. Hey, look, that's not going to go that way. It's not how it works. You're not going to tell me anything because I don't do that. When you understand what's going on, you understand that you got nobody has power over you, and you got no power over nobody else. All you could do is stay in the neutral zone and stand on it and be that. And when you're in that neutralizing zone, you start to make more sense to people, than the days of, oh, you cheap, or you're fucking it, this and that, and you're stupid and all this. No, all that is, we're doing exactly what they want them to do. When you come with a neutralizing effect, that's when you create change. That's when people listen. That's when people look at you. That's when your energy boasts out like, damn, I ain't never look at it like that. When you could hear a whole conversation of back and forth, and you could quiet it right down to where both sides start to think. And that's what they don't want. That's exactly what they don't want. Is they don't want people who have that ability. They don't like it. They don't like people that we could sit back. Like I've always said, there's gonna come a time we can just sit back. We don't got to do anything. Other people are doing what we used to do. All right, and some people are going harder with it. Now, I don't gotta sit up here and talk about people learning how to, stand on their rights, because so many people are doing it now. And they're gonna have to either go tyrannical, or they're gonna have to make some easements, which they're pushing for tyrannical. We already know that, but people are figuring it out. All right, people are learning and standing. The whole driving thing, the freedom of movement thing is big right now. And many people are doing it. You know who is doing it the most? Women are doing it the most. I'm not shocked, because women are the ones who I saw out during COVID standing up. Men nowhere to be found. Men ain't nowhere to be found. Very few. All women. All the protests everywhere. Women. Sure enough, with this car thing, women, they want to learn it. Women are doing it. Got 60-year-old women getting their windows busted out, standing on business. You know, and people say, "Oh, that's not standing on business. That's stupid. That's not." No, if a lot more people start doing it, and then after effects going about it the right way, they're going to have to change some things because people don't understand the law. We're not under the law. We're under executive agencies, aka administrative agencies, who processes on us. That's it. When it comes to the law, mostly everything they're doing is void. You know, it just is what it is, and that's where the wins are coming in at, is people understanding the law and the procedures and how to go about it. And come to find out, shit, it could be the whole stop was wrong from the start, and then everything else just added to the wrongness. You know, and that goes from being free on the court to being free in your family. Okay, being free in your home or whatever it may be. You know, it just takes the people to wake up and realize, you know what? Why are we doing that? You know what? Why do we got to do that? You know, it's certain things that we shouldn't be doing that they got us doing. You know, and there's other things that, you know, the law is written, and you know what? I could agree with that. You know, like people I talk to, oh, you're some kind of anarchist. What do you mean? How did I just literally tell you about the law, the constitutions, right? What your rights are outside of the constitutions that created the constitutions that you need to be standing on. They tell me I'm some kind of, you're an anarchist. Like, wait a minute, I'm telling you what your rights are under the law or over the law, whichever way you want to put it, doesn't matter. All right. Whichever way you want to put it, that's what we should be doing. You know. So, but you know, like I said before, a lot of people are, you know, standing on business, and you see one of the headlines is first one is where is it at? Supreme Court to decide if Trump's global tariffs are legal. You know, these things come up, man. That should be your cue to read it, to look at it. You know, read it, research what they're talking about. You know, the reason why the Supreme Court is deciding if his global tariffs are legal, and they're using the word legal, is because now the Supreme Court is the law, and Donald Trump is a president under the executive branch, all right, of the democratic government. Simple. The government is not operating as it's supposed to. And a lot of people don't understand that. In simple terms, we live in a republic, all right? And the democracy is a representative form of government, all right? But what they have did is supposed to be in balance with the legislative, right? And the executive branch. But they're not all in line. That's the problem. The executive branch creates what? Policies, rules, regulations, right? And they run off of that. The corporation is under is under the representative democracy, under what? The executive branch of government, under all its agencies. If you look at all the agencies, they all go right down the line to the executive branch of government. And when you look at the law, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's lawful. As simple as that. And that's what people don't care to know, don't want to know. They just rather chase around truth or tales all fucking day, you know. And the rest, they don't even want to think about this stuff. It's too much for them. And the sad part about it is we're at a point where it's either, you got people that just at this point believe Donald Trump is the savior, and they're just gonna sit around and wait. And you got the other side thinking, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. And you got the other people who just want to exist. They're good. You know? So again, shout out to all you guys that jumped on. Angela, Flint, Cuts, whoever else is up on here, Traces of Life. Shout out to you guys. Just figured out, I'm still here. I didn't quit. I quit the other stuff. Call me an alternative truth media or something. I'm alternative media now. Whatever. Don't even call me anything. I'm going back to I'm nobody. Except for somebody to all my brothers and sisters. That's it. So shout out to all you guys. What else? Oh, the Trump dinner. I mean, could y'all believe that? When I saw that, I'm like, if they ain't playing the most craziest Jedi mind trick that we have ever seen, I don't know what else it could be. And that is all. I mean, people got to understand, all these are psychological operations for everybody, for those that know and those that have no clue. It's for both. You think that when they sit down, you get 33 people together, sit down, all them people that they don't know, that there's going to be hella people like, that's the entire objective, was for people to see him with Bill. Mr. Warp Speed with Mr. Give them what they want. That was a literal, and then had the number one companies that helped them. Like, literally, this is like, I was like, this is it. This is insanity. That's the stuff that I quit. Throwing the towel. Because they had the guy who set it off. Everybody knows it. Even the uncaring masses know that. Then you had the guy that pretty much, I don't know, I've never heard anybody say anything good about Mr. Bill. Then you had Google, then you had Facebook, which censored everything. Like, what? I mean, literally. And then you have them sit up there talking about they are going to have that lead the AI revolution. Like, what? What could possibly go wrong but everything? I mean, seriously, it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And again, they got the truthers duped. All right? They got the whole truthers duped with the New World Order shit. Okay? What we've been sold as a New World Order is not the shit they're doing. I don't know how blatantly, obviously, when you pull back and get out of that mindset, you can see that's not what the fuck. They're not doing the fucking New World Order like we've been propagated. There's a mind control op. Because all you gotta do is look at China, look at North Korea, look at South Korea, look at other countries. Like, you could take China as a whole. You could look at Vietnam, all these other countries, right? I like to do China because China has more people than any place on earth besides India. Okay? They don't need a new world order in China. Okay? They don't need a new world order in the Koreas. They don't need new world order in a lot of these other countries that, in Europe. You don't need it because they already got something like it already going on. They're not going to just, all the leaders are going to come together one day. Oh, we have this new world order and we're all going to be under tyranny and you got to do this and do that. And no, man, they're not doing that. It's not going down like that. Because I've been fought. There's so many people that are actually on the ground. These people are more truthers than truthers, but not truthers, but yet truthers. Like they go to these places that we can't go. I mean, we can go, but we don't go. Or that we've been told not to go. And they go and they do these things to show you that it's not what we've been told. It's actually totally the opposite. Okay? And that's what I've been tuning into some of this. So I'm like, damn, you know? And especially in China. China already has a surveillance system. China already is 90% cashless. They don't need to do a new world order. They're already been operating in a system to where they're what are you talking about? It's already a system, and what people always use China as, oh, that's the new world order, the communists. Okay, they've been operating for how long? They have 3 billion people over there. If they form a new world order, how's it? It don't even change anything they're doing. They don't gotta. Nothing happens over there. That's what we don't understand. What are they gonna do over there? Nothing. What are they gonna do in the Koreas? Nothing. They're already living the way they've been living. All that whole dream you've been sold, it's not going down like that. It's something totally different that's gonna go down that we ain't even gonna expect. When I pulled back, I started looking at all this stuff and I'm like, man, it's not working like they think it's working. You know? It's not working like that. It's not going down like that. So that truther shit we learned and was all into and all that, it's not that global takeover. They're gonna do this and we're all gonna be this and slaves under the Illuminati and all this elites and all that. And you go look at these countries. What do you gotta what they don't gotta inflict tyranny when they already have obedient people? Yeah, some people don't like things that the government does and they get, whatever. But they already have the whole system in place. There's only a handful of places if you're talking about some new world order like we've been told, that they would have to do that. No, it's not going down like that. All right? They have bigger plans for this place that we're in right now. They got bigger plans. What that may be, I have no clue. I mean, of course I got clues. All right? Whatever we doing now, we ain't going to be doing. However this whole system's being ran now over here ain't going to be ran that way. They look at China as a model of what we want. Oh, that's what we're going to do. We want to, because if you look at it, you're like, well, shit, look at it. People go over there. You go over there. My wife from over there in Taiwan, there's zero crime. Okay? No drugs. I mean, you don't have this. You don't have thefts, robbery. Oh, you have little petty theft. In China, people don't even steal. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but if you drop something, people don't even pick it up. You drop a gold chain, dude, like they told him if he drop a gold chain or a gold watch, nobody will pick it up. Whoever picks it up, nobody would steal it or take it and keep it. They would pick it up and return it because they have so much surveillance that they would know exactly who picked it up and they would find the person, they would get in trouble. And another thing is, you think that, they get in trouble over there and like, oh, the whole world. They actually, if you look at the system, that's what I looked into because I studied the law. And I looked into the system in some of these places. I'm like, they're a lot more free than we are in a lot of aspects because they don't treat them the way they treat us. Okay. As far as like everything goes to jail, all this other stuff. We're actually over here. Victims are cheated over here. When there's a victim over there, that person that did it got to pay. They do it the right way. And if they don't pay, then they can get fined more and go to jail. So they don't do that stuff over there. That makes you think like, damn, what if they had that over here where if somebody assaulted somebody, they call it restitution. You know, if you go through the whole civil process, yeah, but 90% of cases that involve stuff like that, injuries and stuff, never get that far. You know why? The man in the middle steals it all. The debt goes to the government instead of the other person, which is wild. When you look at the framework of the law, you be like, man, we got it bad in many ways than we can even imagine. Okay? But anyway, like I said, if you get in a physical altercation with somebody and you hurt them, all right, you got to pay. You got to pay. And then one thing it is, when your pockets get touched, you start thinking twice about doing something. Why do you think, DWIs are so high, like 10 grand, $10,000 fines, when over here? Try to make you think about, the outcomes, but people still do it anyway. That's a whole nother story, with stress, mental issue, health issues, and all that other stuff, whatever. Just no accountability for, it's just crazy. I don't want to get into all that. But when you start looking at these things, you start saying like, man, wait a minute. Okay, if you're driving a car, you hit somebody, you got to pay for that shit. Jail, jail that don't work like that. And then you start looking at the amount of people in prison over here and in jails, you'll see is a lot of it is just for profit to make money, which cheats out everybody. It cheats out the victims, okay? And it cheats out the person that got to pay because it removes accountability from them because they just go to, get a jail, probation, or whatever, go to court. Oh, yeah, you did this, you get a fine. When it should be, no, you broke that guy's face. You pay all his medical bills. Imagine somebody having to do that, paying somebody go hurt somebody, and they got to pay $50,000 worth of medical bills. Man, what? You think they're going to try to touch somebody again? And now they working, getting garnishment. Man, that shit like child support. That's how, I would be in agreement to that because that goes into common law. Look, you take accountability. Damn, yeah, I got into a fight. I broke his arm. Yeah, I know I got to pay for it. I shouldn't have been doing that. Okay, you can fight, but you got to deal with the repercussions. It's called, this is real liberty, justice, and freedom. That's how it works. Knowing, yeah, I can fight him. But knowing, okay, if something happens, man, I got to pay for that. And I'm going to own up to it, and I'm going to pay for that. Yep, I did it. And when you look at the laws in other countries, I looked at Korea, I looked at China, I looked at Taiwan, I looked at even Russia. I've been showing you, I've actually read the constitutions of some of these places. But I got into the law and what they said, looking at how it's structured. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually a fair deal right there. And I look at our shithole mess we got over here. I'm like, man, they take it all. They reap the benefits. It's just sad, man. Truly sad. Truly freaking sad, man. And again, that changes mindset. These other countries, no matter where you go, you could even leave your state, but country mostly, you could go to another country and the mindset is totally 100% different. They have a lot of people don't understand this. And this is understanding human beings, human emotion, human intelligence, just things in general, being able to place yourself outside and look at things. You got to understand other places don't think like us. Just like you can even put yourself into other races, okay, other ethnicities. They're just a totally different thought process, okay? And a lot of people can't do that to understand, a greater whole of a lot of things. And this is where, when you get down to the bare bones of the law here, it's fair. The law, people don't understand what the law is not fair. I can't talk to you. You don't even know what the law is. All right, you think the law is like going to get a fucking license or registering your. No, you gotta obey the laws. No, I'm not. I don't talk. I'm not talking to those people because they don't understand what the law is. That's not the law. Okay. Well, they made the law. That's not the law. All right. There's policies, rules, codes, statutes, everything in between. All right. Laws go to damages. All right. That's it. When you get to damages, that's when you get to the law. Simple and plain, plain and simple. Understanding, no, you can't do that. Damages on others, meaning from the person to their proper ties, whatever's properly tied to them, aka property. So when a person has proper ties and you damage or violate it, hey, you gotta pay. Simple. Simple. You know? It's crazy. Yeah, I don't want to talk about. This is the thing. This is why I don't like to come live, because I don't want to talk about those people, man. I don't even think about those people. So, cuts, please don't bring these people up. Just messes the whole flow of everything up, man. I don't care about the guy. You know, I don't care about any of that. Whatever goes on over there. You know, they got a right to believe whatever they want to believe. Whatever. All right, it's all good. We get it. If you look around the truth realms, everything is the same. There's nothing going on. You know? When you remove yourself and look at it's a lot of shit that's like actually going on. You know? I done met some beautiful people and like, yeah, I didn't know y'all was doing that. I was like, okay, I get it now. Y'all doing that. I said, oh, you guys were the ones that did that. Well, that's why that happened. You know? A whole nother realm of people actually doing something. You know, it's actually more people than you actually think. You know? For me, I don't think it's enough people, but it is actually more than I actually thought it was, you know? But yeah, Cuts, that's what he's been doing. I told you, leave it in the. It's called not giving your energy. Whatever you give your energy to, hey, the energy got to come back. You don't give your energy to it, hell, don't come back. I did that to my ex. I can't even. I'm everywhere and never could run into her because I don't give my energy to that. I knew that the second I left. I never seen her again, ever. Never, not bumped in, not ran into, not crossed paths, nothing, zero, anywhere. And that's just how I've learned that over the years. My people that I don't deal with, when I pay them no mind, I don't see them. Don't give your energy to things that you don't want it to, that'll stay away from you. It's that simple. You know? If somebody comes to you, you know how to lay somebody down. You know? You know how to lay somebody down. You done did it before. That's when you do it. Don't worry about it. That's how it, hey, look, do whatever you say, whatever. Hey, look, as long as you don't bring it to me, we good. Because you see it on the news. You know? That's it. You know? You gotta think. If you I don't be around I'm not around the realms. I don't know what's going on. If you guys still going back and forth or whatever, somebody gotta stop. You know? Ain't nothing happened yet. How long's it been? If you guys are still beefing and heefing, nothing's happened yet. Ain't nothing gonna happen. And you got a right to protect yourself. You know? It is what it is. I say leave them alone. You know? It's all good. And I just like to give good advice. You know? I done been through so much stuff. You know? And I feel like I've been through so many situations and experiences that I could give advice to people. Said, look, try this. And I bet you can come. I can 100% guarantee you could come back and tell me, damn, that shit worked. You know, or you were right. So that's a way you can, get away from that. Because whatever we give our energy to is what comes back. And actually, whatever you give your energy to could actually benefit you. So people don't understand that this whole concept of this fake ass CIA spiritual awakening and all this other stupid shit has construed everything. Okay? Because they say, oh, energy, this and that. Yeah, we get on that. But your energy could also destroy you. Energy could also come back negative. All right, people talk about, oh, everybody want to be positive with this shit, but no, man, you gotta be neutral. Again, I've told y'all before. Anybody that tell you, I don't be around people with low vibes, walk away from that person. People that say, oh, high vibes only, I only be around high vibration people. Walk away from that people. Walk away from them. I want to be around people that have flaws. I want to be around people that ain't perfect. I want to be around people that, you know what, I made a mistake. Guess what? Because we all learning. Because I ain't perfect, and I'm going to make this mistake. And I want somebody to be like, yo, you know what? You did that wrong, or you should have did that like that. But you know what? You're right. Because the best thing we could ever do in life, people always ask me, oh, how you know so much? I tell them, look, one, I don't know anything. Second, I actually stop and listen to other people. Realizing, you know what, I don't know everything. When I stop and listen to other people and actually, you know what, take it in and say, man, you know what, let me think about that shit. That's what gives you more knowledge, more information, because we're all in this, we're all learning, we're all intertwining, we're all energy, right? And it's bad and good energy. But you can manipulate that energy by keeping the good energy around you. And it's not just putting in your head, oh, man, good energy, good energy, good energy. No, man, you got to embrace it. Okay, when bad energy come around, you got to make it to where you neutralize it. Simple. That's how I say, you know what, I've always been like that. What's the easiest way I can do anything? That's how I try to live my life is whatever the easiest way, that's the way I want to try. And when it gets hard, I learn. And people say, oh, don't take the easy way out. No, take the easy way out. But think about the easy way. Because you only make the easy way hard. You ever do something and then it was so damn hard and then you realize, damn, that was that easy? I thought it was going to be hard. Yeah, they told you, don't take the easy way out. All these stupid phrases over the years actually create harm for us. Don't take the easy way out. No, you got to rephrase that whole thing. Take the easy way out. Because you could be doing something. Everybody can contest to this where you thought it was so hard, so tough, so much pain and anguish, and then at the end of it, you're like, damn, it was actually that easy. Yeah, it was easy the first time. You just couldn't see it. And you're always going to battle something. You're like, damn, man, this is hard. Sometimes you got to pull back. You know what? Just detach from it. And I got to do that a lot. I could be working on something that's real tough, real hard. And I'm like, damn, you get to a certain point where, you know what? Either your mind is clogged up now. You got to remember, man, we are machines. We ain't no damn, we do got a supercomputer, but guess what? We can overload. And when you take too much in, it's like you can eat too much. You could drink too much. You can breathe too much. You can sleep too much. Guess what else you can do? You can take too much in. You can do too much. You can exercise too much. Guess what else? You can think too much. And when you overthink, you clog all that up. And what does that do? That blocks your memory. That blocks your energy. Not memory, sorry. That blocks your energy from flowing. And it could get you stuck. What you do? What's the best way to do that? You take a time out and rest. Whatever you was doing, whether it was some brain work, physical work, trying to figure something out. Whether it's brain work, oh, you're trying to figure out your brain and just, oh, God, I can't figure it out. Stop. I learned completely stop, turn it off, don't even think about it. And guess what? Whatever you was doing will pop in your head. Boom. I've literally did that multiple times where I was trying to figure something out and I couldn't. And then I just I got frustrated, unplugged, and just been relaxing. And all of a sudden, a thought will come in my head like, oh shit, I should check this, or I should do that. And I go do it, and it just ended whatever I was doing that I was struggling with in an instant. That's how energy works, man. It'll work with you, not against you. You got to know when to say when. That frustration and all that, that's your body saying, look, chill. We don't listen to it. We saying chill, 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 chill. We don't listen to it. You know, we could be doing anything, working on a project, fixing something. Like I said, working on something that takes a lot of brain power, and it'll jam you up. And all you got to do is unplug it. Say, you know what? I'm done. And then chill, and then you'll come. I 100% guarantee you, whether it's a few hours or a day or two, it's gonna hit you like, boom, I should have checked this. You know how many times that's happened to me? I go right to it, and god damn it, it was this little wire that I knew it was, and I tore the whole car apart twice, put it back together, took it again, put it back together again, and I wasted 3 days on it, and I let it come to me, and it took me less than 10 seconds to fix it. And I don't spend 3 days messing with it and working, busting ass. Or it could be some paperwork I was working on, trying to figure something out, trying to find something, trying to put it all together. And I'm just overloaded. I can't get it right. And I just unplug and come back. And I'm like, God damn, it was all I had to do was this, put that, it's perfect, done. Or you're doing something and I'm like, when I do some paperwork, I'm reading it. I'm like, man, I ain't got it. Now take a time out, come back to it the next day, and I read it and I'm like, oh damn, this is perfect. Or I could do it and come back like, why did I put that there? That doesn't even make any sense. That's just how, that's how mistakes are made, you know? So that's just a little bit of advice on, we have energy. We learn to work with it, not against it, It's crazy. So, yeah. So, yeah, coming back to whatever I was talking about, people, we got to understand, that's one of the most important thing of anything in our being is understanding ourselves. Because if you understand yourself, guess what? You can understand better others. Then you have more love for others. And I regret years of cursing people out, calling them dumbasses, not talking to them because of their belief. I regret that because that's I think that's one of people who woke up to what was going on flaw, and they capitalized on it, and they manipulated us to be that way to other people. I still still see people calling people dumb, or these people are so stupid, and I'll be reading posts and comments, and I'm like, it's just disgusting because I see them both going back and forth, and I'm like, this is disgusting. There's another thing I want to talk about too is desensitized people are that I see more and more of, which is even more disturbing than anything above all else. And it's kind of what's going to lead up to persecution of people who are just righteous people. There's a lot of people, this is why I was talking about earlier on how we need to be worried about our neighbors, because when it gets down to it, like them scary movies and them crazy, wicked movies, they're coming pointing at you. They know all of us is different. They can sniff us out. Trust me. Just like we got magic, and when we walk around, people can feel our aura. People warm up to us. We also got that opposite effect where people they can feel, they know, and we don't rock out with what they rock out with. They know. They know we built different. But again, you can feel the good souls, You can feel the good, but you could also feel the bad. And yeah. So again, back to like you see people, like just casting each other away instead of building. Like going. And it's the internet. I get it. When you're in person, you could do it a lot better. But yeah, the internet has really conscrewed reality big time. People are in their bubbles. People laugh at people getting killed. Like, you know, it could be somebody speeding on a motorcycle. Boom, they crash and die. The people will be in the comments like, "Oh, they got what they deserve. Stupid people win stupid prizes." Like, you know how disturbing that is. That lets me know the people that say that, how they think, how the mentality is. That mentality means as long as you're not in my bubble affecting me, you can die. This is the exact thing that I've talked about for many years on how you better be worried about everything outside of the people that know you and how you are. Because the minute they push that trigger button, it's off with your head. Kill him. I don't care. Kill him. We've seen this in, speaking of the Truther movie, we've seen this in the Truther movie. They're built the same way. If you don't in line with them and their belief, kill them off with their head. This same mentality is all around us in every faction. You don't like Trump, you should die. You're a Trump liker, you need to die. Hauled off for a prison or dead. I don't care. One of the two. Oh, you don't want to take the COVID vacation? You should be dead. Y'all seen it. I did plenty of live streams. I literally did live streams standing outside a hospital where people coming from the hospital in Toyota Priuses, like 7 I counted, stick up middle finger, said, "I hope you die." Boom. I've been to protests documenting, the gun shit. Oh, I hope your kids get killed with an AR, with assault rifle. Man, this is everywhere, guys. If you don't in line with people, you should die. That's where we're at. That's the desensitization. Probably messed the word up, but that's the desensitization that has been done through social media to put people in a self-centered being to where they don't care about anything outside of themselves. As long as they're good, they don't care. Look, you can see it at each and every one. You can see it every day of your life outside of the internet when you're driving down the street. Somebody needs help on the side of the road. Not a lot of people ain't stopping. All right. Americans, with their American, I'm gonna stop for everybody. But what I see, if I'm in the right situation, I'm gonna stop. You good? You need anything? You know, I'm gonna help you. And I like to take my 360-degree radius wherever I go. I still clean up bathrooms. It's weird. I just, I do. I go in the bathroom, it's a mess on the floor. I mean, I don't actually clean it, but I can't just, because I feel like, man, people are so nasty, and then somebody else got to come pick this shit up. That we should do our part. Imagine if we all took around our 6-foot radius with us, right? We see garbage. Nah, I mean, obviously, doing it now is out of question. But imagine if we all did that, we would look like a country like Japan, where there's no trash anywhere, like China, no trash. If people would have it in them, like, look, we're not going to trash our fucking where we are. Why would we do that? It's stupid. But then again, you got people eating McDonald's, GMO foods, and their brains are clogged. They eat their shit, throw it right outside the fucking window. The earth is the garbage for people eating garbage, the majority. So, yeah, man, it's sad. The desensitization is so bad, and and that's where they want, because when they get to a certain point where there's going to be persecution for the people who are holding on to the last, people who are like, you know what, man, I came to this world for a reason, and I'm leaving out here with that same reason. You know, and we don't get into the whole religion shit, but think about it. That's the whole story of the Bible. Jesus tried to warn everybody, they murked him. So what do you think going down? Everybody tiptoes around. What you think going down? Come on, man. We all watching it unfold. What you think coming down? You know? That's where it's all headed. Sad to say, but that's where it's all headed. You know? Talk about, this whole immigration thing. Everybody clapping. All I can see is when I see the people clapping and cheering for the meal, I'm like, damn, man, these are the same people that's gonna clap and cheer for the people who ain't about that life. They don't care. It was a video. As a matter of fact, I saw a video High Impact Flicks did with John Flax and this other guy. They went to a DMV. You saw, man, shit. Exactly what I'm talking about right now is what you saw. What was in that video? The herd just like, we're here trying to conduct our business. The herd getting bigger and demanding, literally begging the DMV that extorts and enslaves, right, and makes you pay and you give up your rights, right? These people are in there begging to get served. And shout out to auditing Erie County. He still listens around. Always holding them accountable, doing what he's supposed to do. Fake like real news. They doing it. Auditing Erie County, man, you've seen his last videos how they pulled him over for an inspection sticker. Boom. He goes, okay, y'all want to fuck with me? I'm going to go check on you guys now. Boom. They ain't got inspections. Got his whole ticket dismissed and everything. Then went and rubbed it in their face. Then, he owned one video. He owned the cops. He owned all the cops. He owned the court. He owned the town officials. He owned the police barracks. And then he owned the lawn of the police barracks. Went up there, parked the corruption cruiser, he calls it, on the lawn and snapped a photo. Now, man, that's what I told you. We did it all wrong. And again, some of these auditors do it the right way. What he does is how we all should be doing everything, following up, standing on business. Whatever our knowledge level is, we should be standing on it. All right? Me, I'm not going to be doing all that. I'm going to be doing it a different way. I'm going to be doing it with the paper. He did it physically and with the paper. Okay? Check the video. It's freaking... You feel better. You'll feel better after you watched it. Auditing Erie County's video that he did when he got a ticket for... And he went batshit irate. He was upset. He was really upset. But he owned the entire area from everybody. And he's right. You writing me a ticket for an uninspected motorcycle, which is no safety risk. It's just a money grab. All right. He's in the autos, repairs and stuff. Like, I'm in the autos, was his due diligence. He checking the database on how the inspection doesn't log it in and it's behind it. I mean, both men bring that point over dismiss it. All right. They didn't want to let them get us in. This. Sorry about that. It just clicked me off. So, if Albany, Erie County really wanted to, okay, he could bring that up and show, and actually, everybody that got a ticket in that jurisdiction, bye-bye ticket, payback fine time, lawsuit time, because if it's not accurate, guess what? Remember, this isn't law, this is policies. It's legal, but it's not lawful. It's only legal until it's to be found unlawful under the law, which it will 100%. Okay, simple and plain. It's structured legally and lawfully under the law, but when they go outside and there are all these little missing things and this ain't right, that ain't out, that's not lawful. That's a 100% dismissal, reversal, refund. Okay, you got a big problem on your hands, you know. And he got enough following where he could actually do that, disrupt that whole entire area, you know. This is what it is. That's the beauty of what we should have been doing, because you know, millions of people knew this stuff. A lot of this stuff wouldn't be going down. We wouldn't be having to go in and begging to travel. Okay? Look at them and look, y'all want to charge us a tax? Go ahead. All right? We get it. We're going to obey, the common rules of the road. But you're not going to sit here and terrorize the shit out of us, pull us over for equipment violations, headlight. It should be, you pull, oh, damn, I didn't know my tail light was out. Oh, safety, your tail lights. I get it. All right. Well, give me an opportunity to fix the fucking thing. But no, they want to damn near kill you when they pull you over. Oh, you got a cracked windshield. Oh, they want to pull you over and damn near murder you if you don't comply. When it should be, they want to make some big bucks. How about y'all open fucking state repair stations? Y'all can make all the money. And say, look, we have a repair station, you could take it to our stations and, our state employees will repair it for you. Okay, you just pay, whatever it costs. We have our own facilities and it's going to be safe. I mean, that's how in a real world that it should work. Like the cops, but okay, yeah, you got to get that fixed. If it's a safety hazard, but a cracked window, that's really not a safety hazard. That's a I'm gonna get you hazard, right? And a lot of other things aren't really safety hazards. It's just I'm gonna get you some hazard. You go to other countries, they don't have this stuff. They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the time. People say they don't have the infrastructure for it. They don't have the time, okay? And they do just fine on the roadways. You don't need a road pirate every fucking 5 minutes pulling you over for, nothing. Getting behind you, riding behind you, making sure you don't swerve just a little so he could pull your ass over so you were swerving. I mean, come on. Speed trap cities and towns and villages where the speed limit is 55, drops to 45, 30, then back to 45, 50, just so they can sit at one and get you. Come on, man. And when they know in their own quotas, right, the state and municipalities give towns and areas certain speed regulations and a cap to where it could be 25%, 30%. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. Of fine, like the revenue that they're generating off of tickets, it's not supposed to go over a certain threshold. If it does, then it falls under, okay, you guys are, doing it for, basically you're gone corrupt now, because it's all corrupt, but they do give a perimeter where, okay, it should be 25%, 35% of your whole revenue, should be under that. should be under 35 to 20, whatever that area lays. If it goes over that, then hey, you guys are writing too many tickets. You guys are targeting people. That's whatever. It shouldn't be none, but they actually do have this, and people can go check in their areas and say, oh well, damn, they're 40% off of tickets. Oh man, there's some rumpa dum dum coming. And if we the people knew this, oh my god, we could have a field day with this stuff. This stuff I looked into. Everywhere you go, it's always over. And some places get audited, and they get put on notice from the public safety, all right, committees and stuff that are in those areas. Some don't even have none. All right, this is crazy, man. If we knew, okay, we wouldn't be sitting here complaining about a lot of this stuff. Because guess what? If they have a 25%, 35%, what people sat down and gave a percentage? Maybe we, the people, should go there and say, you know what? That shit should be 0%. It should be, you know what? If somebody's speeding or driving reckless or whatever, yeah, okay, we got it. But speed trapping? No, it shouldn't be none of that. I don't believe in none of that. Oh, you believe in people going all the... No, it should be a speed limit. Okay, yeah, we respect the speed limit. All right. But all this other extra shit? No. Because they have an Autobahn in Germany, guys, where you ain't got no speed limit, guys. And guess what? They do just fine. There's literally places with 0 speed limit. There is none. All right? And they build the German cars that do 200 miles an hour, guys. So what is it? Is it really safety, or is it something else? Is it the speed, or is it something? Yeah, speed can kill at 20 miles an hour or 200 miles an hour. So it's a lot, man. So again, seatbelt. Every car got a seatbelt. Well, hey, I grew up in an era when I was young. We bounced all over the fucking car. Ain't nobody care about no seatbelt. Government wasn't regulating seatbelt. Babies, I remember little, I don't know. Shit, I was like 6. Wherever our babysitter had a baby on the thing, stopped too fast, baby would fly off the seat, boom, right on the floor. We pick the baby up, put it back on the seat, one of us hold it. I thought y'all was holding the baby. Oh, we were back there playing, 10 of us playing in the station wagon. We forgot, hopping over the seats and shit. Y'all remember them big ass station wagons that hold like 10 kids in the back? Plastic hard ass seats, burned the shit out of you. I grew up in that area. They didn't have none of that. Nobody cared about no damn seatbelt. They used to have, man, people used to drink and drive. Yeah, they made laws, but people did it. Officers poured the shit on the ground, keep it moving. And I don't condone it. Nobody should be drinking and driving. It is just, no, I never condone no shit like that, but I'm just saying. Seatbelts, no. Car seats, no. Sorry. And the whole cell phone thing, yeah, I see why they got cell phone laws, but they know a cell phone's going to be in everybody's hand and everybody's going to use it, though they don't really enforce it too harsh and hard, But it boils down to people, it's not going to happen with an Americanized mindset. So, but people know what to do, what not to do. It should boil down to people have honor in themselves. I ain't going to do that. If I do it and something happens, shit, I got to pay for it. But that's how it is in other countries, though. It's mind blowing, man. When you actually look at the laws of other places, and you say, "Damn, man, that makes sense." And I'm gonna do a video on it when I get around to it and show y'all. Like, look, this is what happens when you do A, B, C, and D. Okay. Now look what happens over here. Now, which one is fair under the law? I'm gonna bring up what they have as a policy and then what they have as a law, because the law says something totally different than a policy. So, and then the other one is, like the whole family court situation. Well, in other countries, it doesn't go down like that. They ain't in your family. Why are these people in our families? You know, because we sign up for it. So they just give us what we're asking for. It's crazy, man. In other places also, you got to pay to go to school. Unless you're poor. But you got to pay to go to school. You think you're going to get a public education? No. You're going to get a top-notch education. And you got to pay for it. People complain about schools here, but don't realize y'all sending a kid to a free school. Go look how much a paid school costs, a real paid school, and go look at their curriculum. They ain't teaching them that shit. They ain't raising little liberals. They're not doing none of that. They're not doing Tommy Boy Billy in the bathroom. They'll respect whatever you're doing, but they're not pushing none of that crap. You know? I'm talking about a real paid school, like paid, not, you know, this is where where elite, wealthy people send their kids that want to get into a paid school. Go look at a curriculum. Look at how much they pay in a semester to go to. Grade school, not college, grade school. They are out there. You'd be like, damn, I didn't even know that existed. Yeah, look at the tuition. But look at their curriculum. You'd be like, damn. You talk about higher education. Good God Almighty. Yeah, it's a huge illusion that's over. That just the stigma of, you know, just I don't know what to put it. But when you look outside of it, you're like, damn. You know, the whole healthcare system. We don't have a healthcare system here, guys. There is none here. Okay, that's a whole nother side. There's not a healthcare system here. People swear there is. I said, no, your best care is to go to emergency room. If you have an issue, go to emergency room. They're going to do everything. They do everything in emergency rooms, and they got to take you no matter what. You have free healthcare. It's the other stupid shit afterwards that they charge you for, and we willingly do all that when the actual, unfortunately, what we got to deal with as a hospital is the actual where you're supposed to be going. Because you can go there, they're going to do every test, every single thing any specialist will do, they're going to do in there, but faster. You're going to do blood. I mean, you could get all your blood work done, sugar, iron. I mean, everything, anything you want to know about your body, you can get it done at an emergency room. People don't know that. I've been told people about that. You know, they're going to do it. You get dental work done, they're going to do it. Everything. Because once you get in there, I told people, once you get in there, you can go in there for a massive tooth. Oh, I'm pain. I got no. Do you have dental? No, I ain't got nothing. They're going to give you a card, give you whatever they got. Well, here, we have this program. This is for people who don't have dental. You know, we can take you over here. They'll get it out. They got all this shit, guys. Stop playing. They playing, y'all. They playing. They have everything you want. You get in that emergency room. You go in there. They got all the alternative cares free of charge. It's always a program ran by the government that once you get in there, they're going to give it to you. No matter what you got going on. It's a big fucking scam, man. It's a scam. The government, under Social Security, the administration has to take care of its citizens. If you're a citizen, you got to be taken care of. What do you think the Social Security is? When your ass get old, you're going to see all that shit you was going to all those doctors, all right? It's going to all be in there. You're going to see it all, guys. Get a hold of somebody old and look through the Social Security crap. Blow your mind, man. You're like, wait a minute. When I went here, they took it out of my Social Security. When I did that, they took it out of my Social Security. What the hell? Oh, you'll see it. Wait a minute. I did that back in 1986. Yeah, it's in there. I did that back in 2004. Yeah, look. In your Social Security. That blew my mind when I looked at somebody older Social Security. I'm like, what? And I started digging deep. And you know me? Hey, man, when you study the law, you'd be like, damn, what in the hell? You'd be like, yo, this is crazy. Yep, already paid for by you yourself already. Big sham bam. Crazy. So yeah, guys, it's about it for me for today. Ranting and grooving and stuff like that. So I didn't look at the comments. There you go. There's one blue dream right there. You know what's up. You know, because everything is there, man. It's you start looking at this stuff, man, blow your mind on how we're played. You go get insurance. Oh, go get your car insured. You got registration and insurance. Well, they ask you for your registration first, so they can make sure they have interest in it, and they ask you for the insurance to make sure they have insurance because you don't got it, they got it. They mandate you to get it through state insurance, right? And it runs concurrent. That's why they consist, insurance lab, it links to your plate and all that other stupid shit, right? And does that in New York State. What happens is you go get insurance, they're getting an insurance bond. Okay, there's no such thing as insurance. I go get insurance. Well, what the hell is insurance? Nobody even questions it. What's insurance? It's an insurance bond. Okay, what happens? Well, you get in an accident, it's covered. That means you have a bond. You are covered under an insurance bond. Why can't you go obtain that insurance bond yourself? Okay, but they do it. They make you pay for it. It's crazy. They get insurance bond on you because they get discount because they do so many millions of them, right? And they generate a lot of money, right? They get them for less than we would if we went and got it, all right? But they get it, okay? You get in an accident, you think your car's total for 50,000 or whatever, 10,000, whatever your car's worth. Okay, anybody injured? No, you get okay? Okay, we'll pay. We'll total the car, we'll give you a check, fix it. Meanwhile, do you guys understand how much money they're about to draw off of your insurance? Because you don't know how much your insurance bond is that they got on you. It ain't no different than a life insurance policy. That ain't nothing but a bond. Crazy, man, how we've been doing. We weren't taught none of this shit in school, and there's a reason why. So we can remain ignorant, dumb, and just do nothingness all day. You know? Exactly. That's it. Surety bond. It can cover damage, right? It cover your vehicle and everything else. Even jail. You get arrested, shit. This is all. I got a bond. My bond's right here. My bond goes up to $1 million. All right? And that's how it's supposed to run. Just like when you get to the bare bones of the law, it's supposed to go down like they do in other countries. You damage somebody, you got to pay. That's it. You got to pay. That's it. But they do it here. They reaping all the benefits. Okay? They bring you to court. All the bonds that are in court, they set on your ass. You don't need none of that. They don't need all the bid bond, performance bond, all right? In case you lost bond, in case the court loses bond, the lawyer on your behalf, right? He's got to submit everything upon your. You don't realize when you obtain a lawyer, everything goes under that, okay? When you get a lawyer, he's got power of attorney over you, okay? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't see the paperwork that the lawyer turns into the courts. They know all this, man. That's why they're the bar. It's not the British accredited registry bullshit that they told you. The bar is just, that's their level to keep us under them. That's how they run it. That's how they operate. You know? That's a whole nother club. It ain't nothing. That club is damn near worse than the police. They are worse than the police, but in a whole nother way. So, yeah, exactly, Blue Dream. Exactly what it is. U.S. government pledges to serve you. You know? It's simple. How did the people subvert the power to the people they serve? That serves them. The people that serves you, right? The people that serve you, we now serve them. It's not supposed to be like that. And they know this. They know that more and more people are figuring out. But it's going to be looking just like other countries. And full constitution, but their government, it don't even exist. It's not even, it's irrelevant. Go look at Russia. Go look at China. Go look at Mexico. Look at their constitutions. See if their governments follow their constitution. Nope. They didn't even do ours now anyway already. We're already there. All right? It's harder and harder for us to get to it. It's not even acknowledge that. Who gonna stop us? Who gonna stop us? You know? But again, people are so brainwashed, man. They don't care. Even the ones that claim to care still don't care. You know? Like my brother Yah says, he says, a devil will never cancel out a devil. They're gonna work together. A devil can't cast out a devil. So yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for my trap for today. But yeah, I'm still around. I'm just not around, you know. I'm just not. Just call me I'm like a travel channel that, you know, I'm the traveling channel. So, but shout out to all you guys that are tuned in and tune in later if you care to tune in, and just take that photo on the thumbnail. Man, these dudes done sat down for a second time, man. Like how wild is that? And then it's just everybody just going about their day talking about this. I see stuff like that. That stuff that does something to me. That lets me know. Okay. Like these people, they gonna come on, man. You know how hard they're gonna go. And it's about to get into that season again, and you got Mr. Warp Speed back. Come on, y'all. He's sitting down with Bill, and we're about to go into 6th season. Y'all not seeing that? Come on, man. You got the AI, freaking talking about AI revolution. Come on, man. You already got the real ID? They've been waiting on that. It's here, done. You ain't moving in between borders without that federal ID, man. Federal jurisdiction. People don't see that. That has 1 star on it. That thing is a federal document. And that has to do with state, federal jurisdiction. I've been talking about this for years, guys. You see the fights with the states, federal. Told you they're gonna split up at some point. It's gonna be a breakdown in society. ICE has been running rampant, getting you ready for some type of military type faction. Military rule, guys. Government can't function. Military rule. Shit, Trump might kick the bucket. They might take him out. Like, look, he's killed by a fucking Palestine supporter or whatever. Boom, you got Lansing locked down. It never stop. It ain't never stop. Again, they don't have to do the rest of the world. You don't got to do a place like that. Go watch people who travel to China and document it in detailed depth. There's actually truthers who go to China and document it. They come back saying that's not a bad hat. It's a place. Okay. And I'm going to travel to very soon to Taiwan or China. And I'll come back and give y'all the full rundown, or I may never come back. I might say, I found my house. I'm staying. I'm good. What I got to worry about? Government ain't worried about you over there. They watch you everywhere. They don't. They ain't worried about you. They're not worried if you're doing something wrong. Yeah, they ain't worried. But they ain't worried about you. They don't bother nobody. You got to see the one dude. He traveled over there. Couldn't believe it. The government let him. Man, this dude camps out. He. What do they call that? He road camps or whatever they call. I forgot. Like he wild camps. He does wild camping. Man, he asked him if he could stay outside one of the tow booths. The government let him stay in the office, brought him food, and let him sleep there overnight, and they left. Came there in the morning. Man, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. And not to mention many other things that happened, like how the government was. Yeah, they're gonna watch you. They watch everything you do, but they don't bother nobody. You know, it makes you wonder, like, okay, what are they talking about? And again, they went through a lot. They went through what's probably gonna happen here. But I'm just saying, man, it's like there's places that they don't need to do anything. It is what it is. It's already there. You know, think about that. Like, damn. But it's just look at over. You come over here. Look what's going on here. And they're deliberately doing what they're doing here. And then people say, "Oh, it's the same elites are all, they own and control everything." Man, no, they do not at all. Go look at some of these countries, man. Go look at it's some countries that ain't even on the map. This dude traveled to a country that ain't even on the map. They're stuck in the was it Stalin days still. Still got his photograph all over the shit. I was like, what? What? I never heard of this place before. They their own damn government, like outside of everything. Like everything they do is just right there. I'm like, what? And then go look at North Korea. The one dude went to North Korea. I'm like, yo, what is this? It's weird. This is like a dystopian movie. They're like, yo. But then you look into it, there's a missing part that people not talking about. I'm gonna do a video on like the whole China thing. They sell you as communists, but when you actually get into it, they are isolated people to save a people. That's a whole nother story. They isolated the people to save the people. But I gotta get up off here, y'all. So much love to you guys, and yeah, man, take a step outside the box. I'm telling y'all, step outside the box and look at everything. Try to remove yourself from a closed mentality and just like look at other things and say, damn, and then use your perspective, man, because it changes everything. How you look around that stuff, But much love to y'all. I gotta get up out of here. And a lot of people won't even understand what I'm talking about because people are locked and closed into this mindset. They ain't ever been out of it, So, I've been out the country. Get out the country. My son just came back from the Bahamas. It's you gotta go. You gotta get out. Some people ain't never even left their damn city, let alone town or state. You gotta get around, And then you'll see like it's different. It is very different. So much love to y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later.